What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman. Now, as we eagerly anticipate the trailer at the end of this week, we continue to get updates and leaks regarding Spider-Man 3. Today's no different. We actually got an entire casting grid confirming some characters we already know are coming back, but new characters as well that actually give us a couple of plot details, and most importantly, the bombshell that there's brand new villains joining, and the number of villains, well, we're going to get to that, but perhaps major spoilers ahead of what's to come in Spider-Man 3. We're going to break it all down and what it means for the upcoming plot and narrative, what we can expect, and of course, what these additions mean, including these new villains. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We're still giving away this insane 1/4 scale Beta Ray Bill, as well as our third and final Infinity Saga box set, and we've added a PlayStation 5. All you have to do to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So, in case you've ever wondered, there's a reason that the Illuminati.com and industry insider Daniel Rickman are posting the same casting grid at the same time as industry insiders. There are productions that you can pay basically monthly or weekly for that go ahead and post this information and make it known. That's why it's coming out all at once. Not to demystify it at all, but there are ways to find this stuff out, which also confirms its authenticity. Now, included in here are a ton of names we're going to read over after we go over the new ones that confirm people that we've already seen on set or that we've already reported on in the last 2 weeks. But it's the new castings that are super interesting and give us a heads up as to what's new in Spider-Man 3. The first of which is an agent neutral 30s to 60s male or female. They want someone who feels intimidating, not physically, but the last person you'd want to be interrogated by, ideally a strong theater actor, considering all ethnicities, and it would be fun if this character felt like a New Yorker. Offer out to undisclosed actor, prototype though listed, Edie Falco, who, if you remember, most famously played Carmela Soprano, Tony's wife, on The Sopranos. Now, this is pretty easy to put together. Spider-Man has now had his identity revealed, making him a semi-celebrity like the rest of the Avengers. If you remember, we've seen it twice now. Both Thor and Hulk have been approached in the middle of scenes later in the Infinity Saga to be interrupted by kids who just want to take pictures with them for their Instagram. This is now going to be Spider-Man as well, and even though he may be being investigated by the next role we're going to talk about, it's funny that an agent would come out of left field and want to immediately do PR. And you could see how if it was a strong New York type, how that would play now into the narrative of what's happened with Peter Parker, him being in New York. Now, the second part is a detective that has age fluidity, open to all ethnicities, and looking at maybe even Michael K. Williams as a detective, and this is easy to put together too, who probably has some suspicions this isn't Spider-Man's fault, and while looking into him is really just trying to get to the bottom of things. And of course, his narrative will cross with Spider-Man's later in the third act as he's pulling on the strings. Tom Holland is as well, and then they'll meet up. That's pretty quintessential 101 storytelling, and you can see how this will play in. Now, it's the other roles that are very interesting that I want to go over. Under these listed here, Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, male, attached, Willem Dafoe. Dr. Octopus, male, attached, Alfred Molina. Sandman, male, attached, Thomas Hayden Church. Electro, male, attached, Jamie Foxx. Undisclosed villain number 1, attached, undisclosed actor, and it does the same 2 more times. According to this casting, there are 3 undisclosed villains who will be played by undisclosed actors who have been added to the already insane roster that now includes Electro, Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Sandman, Vulture, the Scorpion, and who knows what else. There are 3 undisclosed villains here, and in case you needed me to do the math for you, let's issue a light spoiler warning, or should I say speculation warning. There's definitely 2 movies coming out from Sony in their Venomverse, or as I like to call it, their Spider-Man-less verse, that have exactly 3 protagonists, or should I call them antagonists, in the film: Venom, Carnage, and of course, Jared Leto's Morbius. 2 movies this summer that predicate the release of Spider-Man 3, and if you're going to go out of your way to try to re-sign old villains from defunct Spider-Man trilogies, why would you not find a way to work in your 2 current villains that you've already introduced in the same calendar year? Jared Leto's Morbius, Venom, and of course, why not just bring Carnage to boot? That's how you can get them into the MCU. That's how you can explain the crossover. And Sony, who couldn't even resist dropping the MCU bombshell and putting the Vulture in their very first Morbius trailer, there's no way that they would miss this opportunity to cross-promote the IPs they so badly want to. Again, going out of their way to sign defunct Spider-Verses. They can bring in Morbius, they can bring in Venom, they can double dip on their IP, and Sony is business first. Their Pictures House is is much smaller. They're making way fewer movies a year than any of these other movie production companies. That's why this is an absolute no-brainer for them. And when I see 3 undisclosed villains and I think Morbius, Venom, Carnage, to me, the math makes perfect sense. I know this is the loosest of confirmations and why I called it speculation in the first place, but come on guys, take a step back and think about this from a bottom line. You're bringing in old villains. Why would you not bring in the 2 current ones? If it's an all-out multiverse crossover, this is the easiest explainer, and then you could permanently leave them there and have full access to Tom Holland's Peter Parker, not to mention the other 2, which you guys know is coming too. Rampant speculation that Andrew Garfield could be back in their crossovers if Tom Holland couldn't cross over to make sense of their narratives. Either way, Sony wants it all. They just want money, and that's what's going to drive this, meaning we're going to see Tom Holland's Peter Parker crossover at some point. What better point to do it than Spider-Man 3 when we're seeing these old villains as well? Guys, let me know down below, does my logic make sense? Are there any of you who think that this is probably wrong? I'm calling it speculation, but man, it's 3 for 3. Seems pretty solid to me. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. I'm super curious how you feel about the upcoming Spider-Man 3 trailer, where you're at with the characters, and with all these additions, are there at least some of you who agree with me that Sony is waiting dangerously close to making this an overcramped movie? I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and remember, you've still got the same people involved who made the first 2 films. The first 2 films are excellent. Not my favorite Spider-Man movies, however, that still is reserved for Into the Spider-Verse, who I think at this point, no one can argue, even for an animated film, far surpasses as a whole a lot of the Spider-Man films we've gotten. This Spider-Man 3, though, may rival it, and even though we already know the cat's out of the bag, the biggest bombshell that we're getting all 3 Spider-Men in a live-action Spider-Verse, I still feel like it has a lot of opportunity to pull on the nostalgia that we need while offering a new part to their narrative. I think a lot of us are excited for that, but let me know all your thoughts down below, who you think these 3 villains are, and quickly let's get into the giveaway stuff. Before I let you go, we're still giving away this insane 1/4 scale Beta Ray Bill, as well as our 3rd and final Infinity Saga box set. Those giveaways are about to wrap up on New Year's Eve, regardless of the subscriber count. We've also added a PlayStation 5 at the 800,000 subscriber mark, which we should hit in a couple of months, but probably by March if I had to guess. Either way, if you want to be entered to win any of these current prizes or any of the future prizes, hopefully we will be back to giving away DVDs and tickets, maybe even some Disney Plus subscriptions when WandaVision launches in January. Either way, all the same rules will always apply at the channel. Hit the subscribe button, you need to be a subscriber. Comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on to keep up with the content. It's the easiest way to drop those comments. Of course, if you enjoyed today's video or the rest of the videos here at the channel, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me over on Instagram at IamFires, over on Spotify under AllFires, or you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Novellin. There are links down in the description to all 3. Thanks for checking out the channel, guys, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.